Hi, I'm Scott Fegette, Product Manager for Dreamweaver here at Adobe. I'd like to show you some of the cool new features you can expect to see in our new upcoming version, Dreamweaver CS5.5. So you've probably noticed HTML5 and CSS3 are getting a little bit of attention lately, and we've definitely decided to focus around this for the 5.5 release. One of the first things you'll notice when you fire up Dreamweaver CS5.5 is that Live View's been updated to use the most current version of WebKit. So things like HTML5 video, all will work right here in place, right within Live View, in ways that we haven't been able to do in the past. But even better, we can now get to some of the advanced constructs in HTML5 and, more importantly, CSS3 to let us do some really great visual effects that we haven't been able to do without jumping into either Photoshop or perhaps Flash to add some of the real flair to it. So let's take a look at what we can do in the new version of Dreamweaver. I'm going to pop open the new CSS Styles panel because we're going to do a little bit of styling first. We've got a basic layout here with what I'd consider, I don't know, web design from about 2 years ago. Square corners, everything's nicely placed on a grid, and there's really no feel to it. So let's see if we can sort of beef this up a little bit. First thing I want to do is let's just come in and I'm going to click on this area. Let's choose one of these columns. Now we've got these white headers. I'd like to use a new CSS3 property of opacity in RGBA to sort of bring out a little bit of a transparent effect to this and make it look a little bit less dated. So I've selected this area. We're going to come in and choose equal height, and I've already got the good old background color tag here. Now by clicking it, we're using hex colors, but in CSS3 you have access to a bunch of different color formats that are a little bit more appropriate. In this case, I'm going to choose RGBA. That's essentially an RGB color, but that last A is for alpha, and the alpha is your opacity. Now if we look at what's in the interface right now, 3 255s followed by a 1, that just simply means white, and it's fully opaque. All we need to do now is back that 1, which is the opacity, back to say 0.8. Let's go ahead and click out of here. Everything updates, and you'll see that we now have a nice transparent effect that's starting up to show up behind us here. So it's getting a little bit closer. We've got the background color in place. Let's go ahead and click Add Property and go to Border Radius. Now, border radius is a new property in CSS3 that does things that you have to do in Photoshop. For example, creating rounded corners as images you would bring in and attach to your divs. Well, in Dreamweaver CS5.5, you have this access right within CS3, right within the CSS panel. I'm going to click the small pop-up here for border radius, and you can see that there's also a new type of editing in the CSS panel. For complex properties like this, we can just pop into the pop-up. I'm going to choose 10. We've got it for all, and you'll see right in real time, I've got those rounded corners popping up on my columns. And it's really handy to work just quickly this way. As you can see, every change is updated very quickly in real time. So maybe it's 30, maybe it's 20. Finally got to what we want, great. But again, with using WebKit here, we know that what we're seeing in Dreamweaver is going to be very close to what we see in a web browser, much more so than Design View. So we've put a few rounded corners on it. We've given a little bit of opacity with the RGBA colors. Let's take a look at this area here. We've got this kind of wine tasting bug call out. Another great feature that is available to you within CSS3 is the ability to do a little bit of sort of non-standard alignment. In this case, we want to rotate this. So I've already added a rotate property down here, and let's just change that to 20 degrees and see what happens. And it looks like nothing happened. So why isn't it showing up? Well, the reason being is we've added just the general the transform to it. But vendor-specific prefixes are a way that you can take some of the CSS3 properties and actually apply them in browsers that haven't actually updated their specs to the W3C spec. Many of them have implemented this using proprietary prefixes like WebKit or Moz. You can see we've got we actually have already added some of these in here too. We've got the rotation for just general CSS3, but let's go ahead and add it for WebKit too. And while we're at it, we'll add it for Mozilla. And you can see right over there, we've now got a cross-browser compatible, slightly offset bug. So as you can see, with Dreamweaver's updated WebKit support, HTML5 and CSS3 development is easier than it's ever been in the past, and you should be able to take advantage of these new features right away in a truly visual manner. If you want to learn more about HTML5 and CSS3, and of course Dreamweaver, by all means visit the Adobe Developer Center. Thanks for watching.